What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jordan, for those of you who are new, and for those of you who are not new, welcome back. These are all the books that I've bought, I don't know, just over time. It's been over like the past 2 months, I would say. For like the past 2 months, every time I got paid, I went to Barnes & Noble. I am officially on a book buying ban. Oh, I hate to say it. Oh, I'm saying it out loud. I hate to say it. I'm officially on a book buying ban. I will not be buying any more, I guess, bulk purchases like this until my birthday. And that haul probably won't go up until the end of the year either way, because that'll be like the final haul of the year. But yeah, I won't be purchasing any more books for the next like 2 months. Unless it's just like a one-off that I'm gonna read right then and there. I won't be purchasing any more books. But before we get into the books that are on the floor, I'm gonna talk about the books that I have coming in the mail today and tomorrow. So the first book that I have coming in the mail today is City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. I think that's how you say the last name. I'm not quite sure. So we're gonna leave it at that. But City of Brass is, if you enjoyed, I was told if you enjoy Ember of Ashes that you will enjoy that. It is, I want to say, Egyptian inspired. I have The Girls Who Grew Big by, I want to say it's pronounced Leah Motley. That one is coming in today. And that one is basically about a group of young girls who I guess all are pregnant, and they're all like each other's support system. And it's basically just about community, found family, and the trials and tribulations of being a young parent, I want to say. Now, I'm not 100% sure. And then I also have Alchemized by Sin Lin Yu. That one will be coming tomorrow. And I'm super excited about that book. I did not know that it was over 1,000 pages. So that shocked me. That will be the biggest book that I have on my TBR once it gets here, besides Priory of the Orange Tree. So I'm excited to read that though. I heard that it is basically like the traditional publishing of Manacled. I never read Manacled, but I was always interested in it because it is like the fanfic of if Harry Potter lost the war to Voldemort. And so basically Hermione is like Draco's like slave of some sort. I'm not 100% sure. Servant of some sort. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it is like a fan fiction of that. Obviously, the characters' names are changed in it now that it's been traditionally published, because Hermione, Draco, Voldemort, all of those names belong to the Harry Potter universe. So yeah, I'm excited to read this though, because I am a fan of Harry Potter. I have been watching the movies ever since I was younger. I've never read the books. I've only seen the movies. But I'm excited to read this because I've heard that it's really good. And so I'm excited to get into this 1,000-page book. It'll be the first book that I've ever read that's that long. So I'm excited for it. Let's get into the physical books that I have right in front of me. The first book in the bag is Breathe In, Bleed Out by Brian McCauley. This may or may not be an upcoming reading vlog. I'm not 100% sure. You'll see what I mean when that reading vlog comes out, but that will be out on like Halloween. So this might be a potential candidate. This might be getting read this month. I don't really know what it's about, and I do want to go into it blind, but I do know that it is inspired by like slasher films. At least that's what I was told. I don't know if that's 100% correct, but I saw this one on Goodreads a minute ago. It was a part of a Goodreads giveaway, and I enter those quite frequently just to see if I'll win, because I did win one. So I always want to see if I can win another one. And so I saw this on a Goodreads giveaway. I did not win it, but I did keep it in my want to read because it did intrigue me. Obviously, I entered the giveaway for it. But yeah, I know this is inspired by like slasher films. And I love a good slasher film. I just watched the Scream movies recently, so I'm excited to read this. So we'll see. I also really like this cover. I think the cover is really cute. I don't know. It's something like so like old school 90s about it. Like, I don't know. The next book I got is A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. And I want to say this one follows Dracula's first wife. A Dowry of Blood is a glittering tale of obsession, seduction, and power as told through the letters of Dracula's first bride, Constanta. So yeah, this follows Dracula's first bride. This book also isn't as long as I thought it was going to be. It's less than 300 pages, but I'm excited to read this because I heard that this is one of S.T. Gibson's like best works. I don't know anything else by S.T. Gibson, but I am excited to read this. It is a vampire book. I love vampires, and I still have yet to read one. Nope, that's not true. I read The Serpent and the Wings of Night. This involves Dracula, and Dracula is like one of the first vampires that I've known of. So I'm excited to read this and get the, what sort of looking for? Perspective of his wife, his first wife. So yeah, excited to read this. Next book that I decided to pick up was Apprentice to the Villain. This is the second book in the Assistant to the Villain series. I have read the first book. I enjoyed it enough to continue the series, but it wasn't like my favorite thing in the world. It definitely gave like fairy tale vibes, but like dark fairy tale vibes, because the villain is like dark and it's an adult fantasy. But I did enjoy this. And the little frog, is he on here? He is. The little frog, he was one of my favorite characters, and he's not really in that book much, but the little scenes that he does have, I really enjoyed them and appreciated them. I'm not a fan of frogs. I really don't like frogs, if I'm being completely honest, but the little frog character, he was cute. So I do want to continue the series, and this is the second book. And this is the second book in that series. The next book I picked up, which I'm not sure is not with the other ones, is Slaying the Vampire Conqueror by Carissa Broadbent. This is a part of the Crowns of Nyaxia series. I think you're supposed to read this after The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. I'm not 100% sure. I'll put the reading thing on the screen that I'm following. But yeah, this is basically just like a standalone novel. I don't even think you have to read it with the series, but I'm going to, just because it's like the recommended reading order. Sorry I keep looking at the viewfinder now. I'm still not used to looking you guys in the eyes. But yeah, I'm excited to read this. I'm excited to continue that series. The Ashes, I did read the first book in the series in a reading vlog, and I'll link that down below if you want to watch it. And I haven't started the second book yet, but I do plan on starting it sometime soon. So this will be after that one. And I want to, like I said, I want to say that it is a standalone, but it is recommended. I love that they all look like this on the naked hardcovers. They all have some form of like this going on. But yeah, I'm excited to read this, and I'm excited to continue that series because I really did enjoy The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I don't know what this is about, and I do want to go into it blind. I will save this for when I actually like get into continuing that series. So yes. Slaying the Vampire Conqueror. The next book I picked up, I watched somebody read this in a reading vlog. I want to say it was Mel Reads. I watched her read this in a reading vlog, and she enjoyed it. And she enjoyed it enough that I wanted to read it and see what the, what the vibes were. And that is A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. This apparently is like a Norse fantasy, and I think Norse means like Viking. I'm not 100% sure, y'all, but I want to say that Norse is like a Viking story, and I've always been intrigued by Vikings because they just, I don't know, something about it interests me. And so I'm excited to read this. I heard this is really good. The second book is out, but it's not out in paperback, and I did get this in paperback because they didn't have the hardcover. But that's fine. I don't mind a paperback. I don't mind a hardcover. I'm actually up in the air about all of it. But I will read you the back on this one because I don't really care to go into this one blind. But it says, bound in an unwanted marriage, Freya spends her days gutting fish, but dreams of becoming a warrior and of putting an axe in her boorish husband's back. Freya's dreams abruptly become reality when her husband betrays her to the regent's Jarl, landing her in a fight to the death against his son, Bjorn. To survive, Freya is forced to reveal her deepest secret. She possesses a drop of a goddess's blood, which makes her a shield maiden with magic capable of repelling any attack. It was foretold such a magic would unite the fractured nation of Skaland beneath the one who controls the shield maiden's fate. Believing he's destined to rule Skaland as king, the fanatical Jarl binds Freya with a blood oath and orders Bjorn to protect her from their enemies. Desperate to prove her strength, Freya must train to fight and learn to control her magic, all while facing perilous tests set by the gods. The greatest test of all, however, may be resisting her forbidden attraction to Bjorn. If Freya succumbs to her lust for the charming and fierce warrior, she risks not only her own destiny, but the fate of all the people she swore to protect. So, A Fate Inked in Blood. I guess that's where we got our title from. But I'm excited to read this. I've heard Danielle L. Jensen books are actually really good. I think she also wrote The Bridge Kingdom, right? And that's also on my like list of books that I want to read. So yeah, A Fate Inked in Blood. The next book I picked up, and I probably should have showed this with the second book, but that is the third book in the Assistant to the Villain series. This one just came out this year. I figured I might as well go ahead and pick it up when I picked up the second one. Like I said, I did enjoy the first book enough to continue the series. Do I know if I'm going to enjoy the second one? I don't, but I have heard that the second one is better than the first one. So if that's the case, then I'm pretty sure I'm going to want to continue it. And the first book also left off on a big cliffhanger, so I'm pretty sure the second one is going to as well. I think that this is not the final book. I want to say a fourth one is coming out next year, maybe. I have to do some research, but I'll put, you know, I always put it on the screen what the verdict is. But this is the third book in that series, and I did go ahead and pick it up along with the second book. I'm not going to read the back of it because I don't even know what happens in the second book. So yeah, the next book I picked up is a republishing because it just got traditionally published, and that is Bound by Sable Sorensen. And I'll read the back of this because I don't really care to go into this blind, but I do know that it contains wolves, and I want to say trials. But it says Maren Cooper has always hated the bonded elite warriors who form mental links with the massive vicious dire wolves they ride. Oh, they ride wolves. Cool. The bonded live in luxury while Maren struggles to keep her family out of poverty. And when her little sister Dyalla is kidnapped, stolen across the border by the immortal monsters her country has spent centuries fighting, Maren's world falls apart. Desperate to cross the front and save her sister, Maren enlists in the army and is thrown into the deadly bonding trials where any mistake will cost her life. Now Maren must survive 4 months of training at the castle she is bound... I'm sorry. I read that as a run-on sentence. Now Maren must survive 4 months of training at the castle. She is bound to a feral direwolf who refuses to communicate. The other trainees would love to spill her common blood, and her cold and beautiful instructor, Stark Therion, is eager to punish any weakness. Everything is a competition, and everyone is out to get her. Everyone except the dangerously handsome crown prince, whose attention adds another target to her back. In the castle, every smile hides a knife, and the halls hide dark secrets. So I'm excited to read this because I've heard good things about it, and I've heard that it's like Fourth Wing but with wolves apparently. And I haven't read Fourth Wing yet. I was supposed to, but I just was not in the mood for Fourth Wing when I started that vlog. So we'll see. I'll probably get to it sometime soon. But anyways, the next book I picked up is a book that I saw Emmy read here on YouTube. She really enjoyed this, and I heard that it has a beautiful representation of a certain disability. I'm not 100% sure what it was. I've heard great things about it. Actually, I've heard a couple of reviews that they didn't really enjoy this, but for the most part, the reviews that I have heard have been good reviews, and that is A Dance of Lies. And this basically follows a girl who is wrongfully accused of a murder, and she's basically put into this prison for like years, and it's like a small prison. And so she dances. She was a dancer for the king, and when she was put into this small box or whatever, he came back and was like he wanted her to basically commit, not treason, but he wanted her to infiltrate this other kingdom by dancing. But obviously she doesn't have the same movement or mobility in her limbs because she's been in like this cramped space for so long. And so we basically follow her journey as she basically learns movement again and has to, you know, do this mission for the king. And if she does it, I believe he says he's going to let her free. So I'm excited to read this. I've heard this is good. This is really good. This is also by Brittany Arena. I'm sorry I didn't say the author's name, but I really love this cover. It kind of looks like what is it called? Not stained glass, but you know, the glass that's like up in the churches. I don't know what it's called, but it kind of looks like that. And so I am excited to read this. This is really high up on my list of books that I want to read, along with the other 50 plus of them. But I'm excited to read this, and I heard that it's really good. The next book I picked up is Sky Full of Elephants by Sibo Campbell. And this basically follows, actually I'm gonna read it to you guys. It says, one day a cataclysmic event occurs. All of the white people in America walk into the nearest body of water. A year later, Charlie Bryant is a black man living in an entirely new world. Having served time in prison after a wrongful conviction, he's now a professor of electric and solar power systems at Howard University when he receives a call from someone he wasn't sure even existed. His daughter, Sydney, a 19-year-old left behind by her white mother and stepfamily. Traumatized by the event and terrified of the outside world, Sydney has spent a year in isolation in Wisconsin. Desperate for help, she turns to the father she never knew, a man she has always resented. Sydney and Charlie meet for the first time as they embark on a journey across a truly post-racial America in search of answers, but neither of them is prepared for this new world and how they see themselves in it. Heading south toward what is now called the Kingdom of Alabama, everything Charlie and Sydney thought they knew about themselves and the world will be turned upside down. Brimming with heart and humor, Sibo Campbell's astonishing debut novel is about the power of community and connection, healing and self-actualization. It's a reckoning with what it means to be Black in America in both Charlie's world and ours. And so this sounds really intriguing, because what do you mean you just wake up and a whole demographic of people just decided to walk into a body of water? That's crazy. That's actually absurd. And then it really just it leads into those questions of, well, what about the mixed kids? Like the kids who are mixed and are now in families that are, you know, completely one race. Like the mom, you know, was with a Black man, for instance, and now she's married to a white man, and now that whole family is gone, and you as a mixed kid who never even met your Black father, you're just left in this world. Like that is probably so traumatizing, like to see your entire family just walk into a full body of water and just, that's it. This sounds like it's gonna be so good, and I'm so excited to read this. This has been on my radar for like a year now. I want to say, no, it was the beginning of this year. But this sounds so good, and I can't wait to get to this. Is this like literary fiction? I want to say this is literary fiction. I want to read this soon at some point. The next one is On Wings of Blood by Briar Bolin. I actually just watched somebody read this, and they didn't enjoy the second book, but they did enjoy the first book. But she read the, what's the word I'm looking for? Indie published books. This is the traditionally published book, and so I want to say it's going through editing, and the things that she didn't like about it, I'm pretty sure they fixed within this one. So we'll see. But I know this is also compared to like Fourth Wing, but with vampires. I will read to you guys what it's about. The series is called The Bloodwing Academy, and it says, "Welcome to Bloodwing Academy. I didn't sign up for this. I have fae in a school of high blood vampires." Oh, that's a recipe for suffering. I'm Medra Pendragon, last of the dragon riders, or so they tell me. Funny thing is, there are no dragons left, not a single one. But somehow that hasn't stopped the vampires from deciding I'm worth capturing. Now I'm stuck at Bloodwing Academy, where the high bloods run everything, and Blightborn like me, we're just blood in their veins, pawns in their games. But that's not even the worst part. Enter Blake Darkharrow. Cold, arrogant, and way too gorgeous for his own good. He's been tormenting me since the day we met, and now, thanks to some ancient ritual, we're betrothed. He acts like he owns me, but I'm not going down without a fight. Bloodwing isn't just a school, it's a battlefield. High bloods fight for power, and if you're weak, you're dead. Between deadly competitions lies that could get me executed, and a dragon-shaped secret looming over my head. All I have to do is survive. Easy, right? Except I'm starting to think the real danger isn't the academy. It's what I'm becoming in this twisted game of power. And Blake, he might just be the one who pushes me over the edge. They think they can control me. They think they can use me, but they have no idea what they've awakened. So yeah, that is book 1 in the Bloodwing Academy. Excited to read it. It's vampires, it's fae. I forgot that she was half fae. But it's vampires, it's fae. It sounds exciting, it sounds delicious. I can't wait to read it. So we'll see. I've heard different things about it, but I'm still excited to read it nonetheless. And like I said, they have compared this to Fourth Wing. Haven't read it, but if you have, there you go. And then we have Tusk Love by Thea Guzman. Let me see, because that cover doesn't have, no, Thea Guanzin. This has a reversible dust jacket. Oh my God. Dust jacket. It has a reversible dust jacket. And this is what this side looks like. So when I purchased it, this is what it looked like. And then that's the back. And then this is the opposite side. So it's more cartoony. Isn't that so cute? I like it. I love it. So basically it says, as the daughter of an ambitious merchant, Guinevere has a predetermined path. Marrying to a noble house of the Dwendalian empire, raise her family station, and live quietly as a lordling's obedient wife. But Guinevere longs for a life unbounded by expectations, for freedom and passion and adventure. Those distant dreams become a sudden reality when her caravan is beset by bandits, leaving her guards slain and Guinevere stranded alone on the dangerous Amber Road. Her only chance of survival is to travel alongside Oscar, an aloof half-orc who saved her during the attack. Unlike Guinevere's path, Oscar's is not set in stone. With his mother dead and his apprenticeship abandoned, all that's left for him is a long, lonely walk to a land he's never seen to find family he's never met. The last thing he needs is a spoiled waif like Guinevere slowing him down, even if the spark between them sizzles with promise. Despite his cold exterior, Oscar is brave, thoughtful, and unlike anyone Guinevere has ever met. And while Guinevere may be sheltered, she brings out a softness in Oscar that he has never dared to feel before. As the flames of their passion grow, they realize that soon they'll need to choose between their expected destinations and their blossoming romance. So yeah, I'm excited to read this. I feel like this is going to be a fun read. And I don't think that this is a part of a series also. I think this is a standalone. At least I'm hoping it is. But this is just so cute. Look at this. Look at these little art pictures. I hope y'all can see that. That is so stinking cute. It just looks like a bunch of little doodles. And this is on the back. And it says praise for Tusk Love. It has a bunch of little blurbs on the back. This is just so cute. This is so cute. I like this. I like this. I will put this on display if I had enough room on my shelves. Okay, so now we're moving into the next bag that I purchased a bunch of books. And then that's gonna be it. Okay. So up first, I can show these two together. These are the second duets in the Crowns of Nyaxia series, the Songbird and the Heart of Stone, and the Fallen and the Kiss of Dusk. These two are these, well, depending on the reading order, they're like the 4th and 5th books in the series. No, they're the 5th and 6th books in the series. Wait, 1.5, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're like, I don't know. It depends on the reading order. But they're the next books. They're the next duet in that series. I don't know what they're about. I'm not going to read what they're about because I haven't even read The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. But these continue that series. I went ahead and I bought them because I enjoyed that book so much. And I know that these follow a character that I really liked in that book and wanted to know more about anyway. So I'm excited to read these. I haven't heard the best things about them, but to be fair, the people that I saw read these don't really read fantasy like that. So I took their opinions with a grain of salt. I enjoyed the first book, so I'm going to continue reading them. And yeah, plus I'm a little bit more easily entertained than most people, so it don't take much. Vampires, trials, love, schmut. I'm here for it. The next book I picked up is Piranesi by Susanna Clark. This is a recommendation that I got from Smitty over on TikTok. I take his recommendations very seriously, him and a few other creators over there, but he recommended this book through a TikTok and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna read it. And plus I want to say that this also inspired Catabasis by R.F. Kuang, along with Dante's Inferno. So yeah, I will read you the back. It says, Piranesi's house is no ordinary building. Its rooms are infinite, its corridors endless, its walls lined with thousands upon thousands of statues. Within the labyrinth of halls, an ocean is imprisoned. Waves thunder up staircases, rooms are flooded in an instant. But Piranesi is not afraid, or Piranesi is not afraid. He understands the tides as he understands the pattern of the labyrinth itself. He lives to explore the house. There is no other person in the house. A man called the Other who visits Piranesi twice a week and asks for help with research into a great and secret knowledge. Oh, I read that wrong. I'm so sorry. There is one other person in the house. A man called the Other who visits Piranesi twice a week and asks for help with research in a great and secret knowledge. But as Piranesi explores, evidence emerges of another person and a terrible truth begins to unravel, revealing a world beyond the one Piranesi has always known. Now, I have heard that this book can be quite confusing. So I'm a little intimidated by it, but I'm still excited to read it nonetheless, just because it not only is a Smitty recommendation, but it has been a recommendation from a few other book influencers that I take in on multiple different spaces. So I am excited to still read this, but I have heard that it can be quite confusing. So just keep that in mind if you do pick this up. The next book I picked up is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I have heard great, fantastic, wonderful things about this book. I've heard it's emotional. I've heard that it can be quite funny. I do know that the movie is coming out soon, so I do want to read this before I see the movie. And I haven't watched the trailer. Thankfully, I have not seen the trailer or any spoilers for it, because I heard that the trailer spoils something that happens in the book. So I have not seen any spoilers or any trailers for this, so I'm excited to go into this. Oh, Ryan Gosling is gonna be in it. Okay, cool. It says Ryland Grace is the sole survivor on a desperate last chance mission, and if he fails, humanity and Earth itself will perish. Except that right now he doesn't know that. He can't even remember his own name, let alone the nature of his assignment or how to complete it. All he knows is that he's been asleep for a very long time, and he's just been awakened to find himself millions of miles from home, with nothing but 2 corpses for company. His crewmate's dead, his memories fuzzily returning. Ryland realizes that an impossible task now confronts him. Hurtling through space on this tiny ship, he must puzzle out an impossible scientific mystery and conquer an extinction-level threat to our species. And with the clock ticking down and the nearest human being light years away, he's got to do it all alone. Or does he? Project Hail Mary is a tale of discovery, speculation, and survival to rival The Martian, while taking us to places it never dreamed of going. This sounds really good. I knew this was like a space-themed book, but I didn't know that all of that was going on. So I am very excited to read this. Very, very excited to read this. I heard the audiobook is also really good. So maybe I can do like a immersive read when I get to this. But I have heard great things about this, and I do want to read it before the movie comes out. So on the radar. The next book I picked up is another vampiric read. This one I want to say is young adult, but I'm not 100% sure. It does take place in Harlem, and I'm excited about that because Harlem and the Harlem Renaissance era is an era that I do like. I did pick up this Ravenous Fate by Haley Dennings, and it says it's 1926 and reapers are growing stronger everywhere. Created centuries ago by cruel medical experiments, these once human vampires are driven to attack without mercy. Those who protect the city from them hold more power than even the organized criminals who run the nightclubs. As the reluctant heir to her father's reaper hunting empire, Elise Saint knows that the Harlem Reapers want her dead. Among them is Layla Quinn, who lost her parents. Oh, it's also Sapphic, who lost her parents. The protection of the Saints and her humanity the night she was turned into a Reaper. And she'll never forget how Elise Saint betrayed her. A wave of mysterious killings shocks the city, forcing Elise and Layla to work together to find out if some Reapers are turning human again or becoming even deadlier. As their investigation takes them from glittering parties to gangster underworlds, the two must confront their complicated feelings for each other. For a new kind of evil is on the rise, one that will destroy Reapers and humans alike. Elise and Layla might be the only ones who stand between Harlem and its ruination if they don't kill each other first. So I'm excited to read this. Apparently the vampires are called Reapers. I kind of like that. I kind of like that because they're not just called vampires. Like, they're called something else. And so I'm looking forward to this. Ever King by L.J. Andrews. I want to say this involves like pirates, fae pirates. It says they stole his crown, so he stole their daughter. For years, Eric, the Scarred King of the Ever Kingdom, has thought of nothing but vengeance against the man who killed his father and trapped him beneath the waves, making him a prisoner in his own realm. Until his enemy's daughter unintentionally breaks the chains on the Ever, and Eric makes her the unwitting pawn in his vicious game of revenge. She's innocent, he's vicious, but he will take back what he lost no matter the price, unless she steals his heart first. They stole his crown, so he stole their daughter. Sounds real good. It says it includes some bonus material in this. This did just get traditionally published. It was indie published on Amazon for a little bit. So I'm excited to get into this. The only thing is that I heard that there's another series you have to read before this, and it's like 6 books deep. So I don't know if I want to do that or not. So if I read this and I'm really like lost and confused, I probably won't continue the series. But we'll see, because a 6-book series before I get into this one, I just don't know if I can commit. I have so many books and so many series, so I just don't know if I'll commit that much. I am intrigued though. I've been intrigued since I've heard about it, so hopefully that's not the case. I'm gonna do a little bit more research, but from what I've heard, there is another series that takes place in the same world that you might have to read first. So just throwing that out there. All right, the last 4 books. I know this haul is pretty, it's probably like a 40-minute long video, I hope not. But the next book I picked up is Fairytale by Veronica Lancet. I think I talked about this in another book. In another video. This book is thick. She is a thick one. But the thing is it's 730 pages. So I'm really wondering how big Alchemize is going to be. Because if this is 700 pages, Alchemize has to be like a brick. I'm so scared to read it. But I don't really know much about this. I know that it involves, actually, I'm just going to read the back. I don't really care to go into it blind. But it says, I might be evil personified, but you're the only one I'll ever be good to. In August 1955, when Miss Darcy O'Sullivan, an orphan English teacher from Boston, receives a letter that her biological father passed away, she is surprised to find herself included in his will. There is only one condition. She must travel to Fairytale to attend his funeral. With the promise of a sizable inheritance, Darcy decides to journey to the small coastal town that holds the secrets of her birth. But the moment she sets foot in Fairytale, things start to go amiss. Odd residents, odd rumors, odd deaths. Everything about Fairytale is odd, including broody Caleb Hale, part of the infamous Hale family. During the day, Darcy falls deeper and deeper under his spell as he forces her to step out of her comfort zone and embrace her inner sensuality. But at night, it's another man who haunts her dreams. Amon D'Arton? A nobleman who lived 2 centuries ago. Amon is sweet and suave, whereas Caleb is intense and dangerous, and Darcy feels more torn than ever. Soon she finds herself embroiled in a web of lies, deceit, and inexplicable events that make her question her sanity. When an ancient evil threatens the town and everything Darcy holds dear, she must make the ultimate choice. But will she survive it? So that is Fairytale by Veronica Lancet. She's a thick one, but she is floppy. I love that. I love that so much. Like, please. That's going to make it so easy to read. Like, look at this. The spine isn't breaking. I can literally lay it just like this. This is over halfway. The font's not that small. It's not that big either, but it's not that small. Ooh, I'm going to eat this up. I feel like this is going to be good. I don't know. I'm touching it, holding it energetically. It feels like it's going to be a good one. I feel it. I feel the vibrations. The Great BBL by Emily Henry. I now have all of Emily Henry's backlist pretty much. I've only read 2 of them so far. So I have 3, including this one, 4 more. Well, 3 before I read this one. Because I'm reading them in publication order. So the next book I have to read by her, I think, is Book Lovers. I just read People We Meet on Vacation. But yeah, this is Great Big Beautiful Life. And this basically just follows 2 authors who are basically competing with this celebrity to see who gets to write her autobiography. And it's a love story because they end up falling in love and things like that. And so yeah, that's basically what this is about. We don't have to go into too much detail, but I like Emily Henry's writing. I feel like it's very not necessarily complex, but she puts you in your feelings. Like all of her books, well, the 2 that I've read so far, they give me like the Notebook vibes. Like Beach Read gave Notebook vibes with the rain scene, and then you have People We Meet on Vacation, and it's like the back and forth kind of POV. People didn't like that, but I genuinely enjoyed that. And I feel like when they turn that into a movie and you can see it on the screen, I feel like it's going to translate really well. But I really enjoyed People We Meet on Vacation. And I did like the back and forth where it went from this summer and then it was like 12 summers ago, and then it would go this summer, and then it would go 11 summers ago. I enjoyed that, but I did enjoy it. And I feel like her writing it's not complex. It's very simple. You definitely understand it. She has some very hard-hitting quotes. Sometimes I'm reading it and I'm like, whoa, like, girl, did you write that for me? Because Beach Read had a few of those, and they're just really cute, like romances. Great Big Beautiful Life is her newest release from this year, so can't wait to get to this once we get through the other 3 books on the backlist. You can't see them because they're on the very top shelf, but yeah, they're on my romance shelf. This is The Never List by Jade Presley. This is like a why choose. I've never read a why choose before, but I'm here for it, okay? Because why choose? Why? You got 4 brothers and you don't have to choose? Okay. So I got the Barnes & Noble edition, and it comes with the art on the inside. Purple fantasy books just do something to me. My favorite color is yellow, but I feel like when it comes to fantasy, purple is the color for fantasy in my opinion, especially like this rich purple. But on the inside, we get the 4 brothers. I don't know if y'all can see. Can y'all see all 4 of them? Yeah. We get the 4 brothers in there. And so I'm excited to read this. But it says, the 4 princes of Lumithis need a mate and everyone wants a chance except for her. Threatened by invaders, the kingdom of Lumithis is on the verge of chaos and no one can stop it. Unless, I promise I can read. The 4 immortal god princes find their fated mate and safeguard the throne, Lumithis will fall. 5 women have tried, 5 have failed, and tonight in the royal city, the princess needs to find their chosen and hope she can survive the transformation that will make her immortal. Only Riley Gray wasn't supposed to be here. She snuck in for her own dark reasons, and now they claim they found their perfect match, her. Of course, they have no idea she's concealing a secret big enough to damn them all. The 4 princes have no choice. They'll use every delectably wicked skill they have to make Riley fall for all of them, or watch their kingdom collapse. That sounds intriguing. So they're 4 brothers and they know that only one woman. That's kind of intriguing. 4 brothers though? Ugh. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't hate it. But yeah, it literally says why choose one when you can have them all. You know? I saw this on Book of the Month and I did not buy it off of Book of the Month, and I should have, because it intrigued me enough that I kept thinking about it. And so I went ahead and I just got it from Barnes. I wish I would have got it from Book of the Month because it would have been cheaper, but I went ahead and I got it from Barnes, and that is To the Moon and Back by Ileana Ramage. And this one is lit fic. Yes, a literary fiction. And it says, Steph Harper is on the run. When she was 5, her mother fled an abusive husband, with Steph and her younger sister in tow, to Cherokee Nation, where she hoped they might finally belong. In response, Steph sets her sights as far away from Oklahoma as she can get, vowing that she will let nothing. I gotta sneeze. In response, Steph sets her sights as far away from Oklahoma as she can get, vowing that she will let nothing get in the way of pursuing her rigorous physical and academic training she knows she will need to be accepted by NASA and ultimately to go to the moon. Spanning 3 decades and several continents, To the Moon and Back encompasses Steph's turbulent journey along with the multifaceted and intertwined lives of the 3 women closest to her. Her sister Kayla, an artist who goes on to become a social media influencer and whose determination to appear good takes her life to unexpected places. Steph's college girlfriend, Della Owens, who strives to reclaim her identity as an adult after being removed from her Cherokee family through a challenge to the Indian Child Welfare Act. And Hannah, Steph and Kayla's mother, who has held up her family's tribal history as a beacon of inspiration to her children, all the while keeping her own past a secret. In Steph's certainty that only her ambition can save her, she will stretch her bonds with each of these women to the point of breaking, at once betraying their love and generosity and forcing them to reconsider their own deepest desires in her shadow. At its core, it is the story of the extraordinary lengths one woman will go to find space for herself. So I'm excited to read this. I've heard actually nothing about this, but from the few reviews that I have read, I've heard that it's a very inspirational, very like moving story. So I can't wait to read this along with the other books that we have right here on this shelf. How many did we get? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 21. And then we have 3 more coming in the mail. So 24 books. Yeah, like I said, I am officially on a book buying ban until the end of November. Well, middle of November. My birthday is November 15th. So it'll be like a 2.5-ish month book buying ban. That is all of the books that I have purchased. So let me know down in the comments if you've read any of these books and how you felt about them, or if you're excited to read any of these books. I'm gonna get out of here. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. If you have not subscribed, go ahead, you might as well. It's free and it's, you know, it's cool over here, you know. I can fall off a little bit, you know, but we always come back. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.